All right. First chatter in the chat. GG Arya. Just getting these details put in here. Yo, Thomas. Good luck to you. I was looking up your rank and didn't realize that you're from Thailand. That's cool. Always interesting seeing where everybody comes from, especially out of the US, at least for me. All right. We're both on NTSC here, so I think we should be good. Looks okay. Let me go back to Discord chat. Let you guys know. Seems like we got the sound coming in clear, I guess just on Thomas's. I don't know why it's not. I do have the sound up for Cheech's, but I'll just switch the audio here. Little audio indicator. All right, Thomas is choosing Moo Moo Farm whenever Cheech gets his head out of DKJP. Great. Solid first pick. I approve this pick. Great track, and one where you never know when somebody's gonna hit a mole. Hit one of those chubbies. All right, looks like they're both ready. Give them a countdown. See what our delay is like here. I haven't really learned how to do that thing where you delay the one feed or you like hold on to one until the other catches up. I saw Enta and Marvel Girl doing that. It seemed like a nice way to watch these attempts together. Thomas fumbling a little bit over the flip-flop there. Cheech getting through those mole hills. Thomas taking a wider line around that hole. Those two different sections next to each other. Or rather than one half of it. A little better of an MT that time over the hill, but chokes out the next one. Cheech just jumping right through those molehills. Both, it seems like, have pretty good strats on how they're looking out, making sure none of those moles are going to pop out in front of them before they rip through with the shroom. Cheech coming into the home stretch, blasting right through those moles. No pillar. 116.40. No mole hits for either. Very impressive. 119.29. Both going safe. Just getting through. Solid strats. Cheech ripping through a little quicker there. But solid, pretty consistent times from Thomas. Those first two laps within 400ths of each other. And the third one just a little slower. Yeah, you guys are both smart. Just taking it safe around those. One hit could be deadly. All right, we'll see what Cheech decides here for the second pick. All right, picking Luigi Raceway 3 lap. which is sounds like a wise choice. Just straight ahead racing, tight lines. They're both ready. And here they go. Cheech getting the countdown a little earlier over there in Oregon. Has to travel a little further over to Thailand. Takes a few seconds more, maybe, or a couple. Thomas just getting a nice straight line there off the start boost. Cheech going a little riskier with some of those SSMTs. See how this first mushroom looks like for Cheech. Pretty tight line. Looked like he got a good boost off of that. Thomas using all three on lap 1. 33.73, 33.34. So Cheech a little behind, but also has 2 mushrooms. Little bonk on the end of that tunnel there, but luckily has this nice time save here. Thomas making some nice lines here around the last curve, though. Very well driven. 35.55. So it looks like Cheech has a bit of a lead going around the other side of that curve as Thomas starting it, even though they're lagged a little bit. Nice tunnel exit from Cheech. Pretty tight to the wall. And pretty tight as well from Thomas there. See what Cheech comes in with here. 140.68. And 143.90. Well driven by both. Thomas really churning out those MTs. Really not dropping much there. Still getting those pretty consistent laps. And good strats from Cheech as well. The 1-2-0 shroom strat usually works out pretty well. But the 3 shroomer can work also. Darius was using that in our match the other day. Yo, Odin. Yes, indeed. Good luck to both of these players. Oh, I didn't save that one. So that one goes to Cheech. And we're back to Thomas for the next pick. Going to Frapp Snowland. Cheech says, ooh. That one's cold. It is getting cold out there. Thomas ready. Cheech is ready. And they're off. Whenever Discord gets a message to them, respectively. All right. I'm guessing we're not going to see any YOLO shrooms here. Both going to be going right past that spot. Going for the classic shroom spot, which can still get you out of bounds pretty easy, or running into a snowman. So Cheech gets a nice line in there. A little far to the left, but honestly, very good. That looked pretty good from Thomas, but a little bit of correction there at the last minute. It's really tough to get a clean line through there when you're bouncing off the hill. 34.77. And 37.84. So Cheech just has to try not to go out of bounds or hit one of those snowmen himself. Getting through the field of snowmen all right. Not out of bounds. Even gets through that nice line there. Which is ideal. It looked a little tight there. And right in front of a snowman too. Well maneuvered. Didn't need that extra snowman hit after the out of bounds. Yo, Vansky. One of Vansky's favorite tracks here, a master of the hill cut. Cheech taking a nice, honestly, not crazy safe. Like that was still a very nice turn into the left, which I feel like myself, a little bit of snag there, but he's still got a sizable lead. See Thomas's final mushroom here. Of course, yeah, the last one, nice and clean, right through. 143.97 from Cheech. 158.05 from Thomas. I think those were smart choices from Thomas, though. Picking those tracks where there's those little things that could throw off your opponent. Oh, it could have been a PR. Dang. Yeah, that was looking clean. Nice lap, too. All right, so that's set one for Cheech. And yes, it is back to Thomas for the next pick. Going into set two. Getting a clean restart on the cartridge. Gotten all the medals there, you can tell by the start screen. Played through, gotten gold trophies and all those cups. Thomas is a pro. You can see by the start screen. Cheech is still savoring it. He's probably taking a picture of that Fraps No Land splits because it was close to his PR. Oh, Thomas going in for another spicy pick here. Going Yoshi Valley shortcut, 3-lap. I'm liking these picks. Very confident. Good stuff. All right. Thomas is ready. Cheech is ready. Give him a countdown. Yeah. Thomas was a little. I should have looked up at the screen. Make sure they're all ready to go. All right. Cheech lining up here. Thomas just going straight into non-shortcut style, but going around, I guess, to the alternate strat, which is running off into a special spot here. And this looks like a nice advantage for Thomas on this one, because Cheech is still either trying to figure out the spot, or maybe he hasn't done this one. Or maybe he's making a new shortcut that combines the null tires with something else. I don't know. Maybe he's going for the 01 flap. Oh, okay. Wait, he's going for the similar spot that Thomas did, but from a different side of the track. Thomas getting over for the second attempt. I had to review this one before my match the other day because I kind of forgot the easy shroom spot near the finish line where you can kind of set up and jump over to the other side. Looks like Thomas might be bringing this one in. Perhaps? I don't know. Looks like he got in the same spot, but he's still... Oh, wait, and Cheech is on lap 3, so he must have gotten one of those. Or two that I just missed. So this actually looks like it might be Cheech's point. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Odin. I'm going to have to rewatch that because I didn't see the lap changes after Cheech did his maneuver. All right, let me get this down. So we got 157.84 and 204.80. Another one to Cheech. That was a nice pick, though. That was fun to watch. Like I said, I'm going to have to rewatch that because, yeah, I'm more used to that one shroom spot near the finish line. Okay, Cheech was already practicing for the scavenger hunt. Yo, Schlanks. Thanks for the good luck. It's a fun round so far. Both players making good picks, playing well. Yeah, I remember the scavenger hunt. All right, so that was Thomas's nice and spicy pick there, the Yoshi Valley shortcut. So let's see what Cheech is bringing us to next. Cheech saying he just barely made it. That was a fun one. That reminds me of man, yeah, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was just last night. The one with Rechman and Haddock, where it was Wario Stadium 3-lap, and they were both really struggling with it. So it was just kind of like all these zero frames, wondering who was gonna get lucky first. All right, and speak of the devil, Cheech is bringing us over to Wario Stadium shortcut 3-lap, evening out the playing field. He says. So it should be another fun one. All right, they're both ready. And here they go. See who's able to get over this wall 6 times. Hopefully just 6 times. Hopefully nobody gets the unlucky bounce that gets you back over the wall, but on the other side of the finish line. Really nice first lap. Holy crap, a 570 from Cheech right off the bat. Oh my god, he's going to get friggin' world record. That was insane. Dude, right? That's wild. It's going a little wider for this last one. That was a ridiculous like 2 right in a row. He's gonna have to fight for this last one, but he's got 2-lap lead at the moment. And there he goes. Dang, Cheech. That was ridiculous. All right, Thomas claiming the DNF. Understandable. That was unexpected. Yeah, you would have. That's better than both Rechman and Haddock's lap ones. Their first lap. They were both like almost pretty much a minute. I think on lap 1 yesterday. Yeah, you should start grinding that one. You could, man, knock some people down on the leaderboard. Couldn't believe that. I mean, if you went at that pace, I'm pretty sure you would beat my PR. I forget where I'm at. I want to say 19 seconds. All right, Thomas, bringing us back to Yoshi Valley. We love Yoshi Valley here. And I guess since it was a Joker It doesn't. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're not breaking the rules, but because it was a shortcut, doing the same track in the same set. Count them down here. Looks like Thomas got it a little quicker that time. All right, getting through those spinies. Very nice maneuvering by Thomas there. Cheech getting stuck in the wall. This could be Thomas's opportunity to break through here. Nice hairpin jump from Cheech. Really got through that fence. But having to dance around the egg a little bit. So we got 32-17. 31-89. So Cheech still able to bring it back there after the snag. Both going for the safe route to the right. Smart move. Thomas getting over lap 2. Very nice. Both great hairpin jumps. (32:56), 31:07. All right, so Cheech extends the lead. Little fence bonk there. Which I do many times myself. Very relatable. Thomas maneuvering out of the hairpin jump last second, which seems smart. Looked like might have started at a bad angle. So he probably avoided falling off there. Good decision. 134.47. And 143.06. So that is set 2 to Cheech. Thomas saying just hoping that Cheech would fall down lap 3, which is exactly the kind of strats you have to play. Try to pick those risky tracks where somebody might go a little bit aggressive. Solid strat. All right, so we are at set 3. Yeah, nobody's fallen today. Everybody's avoiding the moles. I guess Thomas hit Snowman on Frapp Snowland, but still, some very clean driving. Good decision making here. Thomas says KTB, even though he hates it. Cheech says same here. Both are ready. Begrudgingly going to the beach here, which is honestly one of my favorite tracks. It was the first track that I really got into and started time trialing, and it's what led me to find the website and all that. So I don't know. You won't catch me saying that I hate this track. Love the music. I love the ramp, the tunnel. It's all great stuff. All right. Nice clean hop in there from Cheech. A little bit too far to the left for Thomas. Looking for that backup spot, but it's taking a little too much time. Understandably going around here. So Cheech going into lap 2 with a solid lead. Just has to get through that ramp, through that tunnel. Looking pretty good. Getting around those crabs. 27.57. Nice. That was probably a good choice. Getting the confident line and just firing off the shroom. Cheech going all in, going for the ramp MT. I don't think he got the MT, but that was a nice slide in there. Cheech is certainly locking in. It's where all that versus practice really pays off, I'm sure. 122.79. Nice one, Thomas, getting through the ramp. I thought that was a little razzle dazzle there at the end with the slide off the ramp. All right, so Cheech starting off the set 3 with another point on the beach. That ramp could have been the end of him, which once again is probably what Thomas is strategizing here, trying to think of these tracks where one little false move can throw off a whole lap or a whole run. So now it's back to Cheech for the next pick. It's true. When you're playing up against people, doesn't matter the rank. You know, if you lose focus and let mistakes start to happen, that next person is right behind you usually. It is true. All right. Banshee Boardwalk is where Cheech is leading us to next. A nightmare track. Very haunted. Thomas is ready. Cheech is ready, although I still see him hovering over Mushroom Cup. Maybe I'm going to tell him that. All right, there you go. Now he's over there. Give him the countdown. Learning this lesson to not just blindly look at the readies, but I think there was one match at least somebody was on the wrong track or something. Pays to double check. That was a pretty good sync, or better than some of these other ones. So Thomas, a couple seconds behind Cheech in the lag. Both players just trying to fall. Oh, okay. As I was saying it, you know, both are just going to try not to fall off this track since there's so many open spots in the fence, especially on that zigzag. So this is where Thomas hopefully can just keep it steady himself. Nice shroom there around the last curve. 37.78 and 42.60. So about 5 seconds Thomas has to work with here. So this could be a big one for him. Nice. That was scary for a second, but he maneuvered well back into the straight line there. Looks like Cheech might be gaining back some time here, but still looks like Thomas has the lead, especially since his stream started a few seconds later. 37.32, 35.65. So Cheech got a couple seconds back there. So this could still be pretty tight by the end of this lap. See if ooh, that was very close to the edge there. Right, 2 in a row. Very close calls there for Cheech. Almost was that. I'm trying to think of who just did that. Was it Arya in one of the versus rounds that we had, or somebody just fell off like that recently? All right. Got 154.35, so Thomas takes that one. Very nice. 154.35. 152.66. Thomas getting on the board. Okay. Arya's epic at the track has never fallen off. I was mistaken, of course. All right. 1-1 in set 3 here. Thomas's pick. See what he chooses this time. If we're going to more risky tracks with obstacles that can throw you off, we will see. All right, DKJP. Coca-Cola and water. All right, both are ready. And here they go. All right, Thomas's stream starting up a little earlier that time. Let's see how these ramps go and the cave climbs. There's a nice line around the railing there, but got a little wider towards the end. Not using the traditional shroom spot there. Maybe saving the mushroom for the cave climb on Thomas's end. Gets snagged in a bush, which is one of my worst enemies of all times. Those bushes, especially in a versus match, they can really put a damper on your laps. 38.80 for Cheech. 46.54. So Cheech having significant lead here in lap 2, getting a nice line over that ramp. Safe landing. Shroom across. Thomas going for the same strat. Seriously, somebody trim that bush. Trim that hedge. It's paper thin anyway. All right, 39.10. Cheech. Thomas getting a nice shroom up there. 42.90 or 29. That looked like a pretty nice, almost risky ramp from Cheech. Getting off into the grass there, but settling back in. Oh, almost going into that same bush. I saw it happening, but that was a pretty good maneuver right out of it. Just kind of hit the end of it, the tip. Nice cave climb up there for Cheech. So that is 157.87. Nice jump out into the grass there. 210.42. Solid strats from both. Well played. No jumps in the water, which is definitely something to be said for this track. Very easy to go way too far off that ramp into the water. So now it is back to Cheech. This could be match point here. Then we would need a tighter line. True. Well, just as yeah, I guess I don't know. No matter where it's going to be, you can always get caught in that wall. Yo, Ayama. Coming in here right at the possible game point. Cheech's pick. 2 sets, 2 points. This could be it. Where will he take us? Just noticing right now that one of the tags in Cheech's stream is Rage. He's got English, N64, Time Trials, Rage, Racing Games, Mario Kart 64. I like that Rage is in there. All right. Bowser's Castle flap. And I'm going to remember to type in the zeros today. Thomas says, what, why? And laughs. Cheech says, I don't know. Lol. Both are ready. Give him a countdown to this perilous flap here. Full of thwomps and lava and all sorts of things. Bridges. Stones. All right. Cheech getting that extra MT off the start boost. Thomas taking the straight line. Cheech going out to the left. Getting through the thwomps. Nice line through there for Thomas as well. Both getting pretty clean. Oh, that would have been a nice, sweet stair jump out there, but went a little too far into the wall. So Cheech definitely got the advantage here. 1 shroom left for Thomas. 37-37. And 43-21. So that will go to Cheech for the game. Oh, wait. I said I was going to type in the zeros, and then I didn't. All right. I think I did it right. Huh? No, I didn't pick the track. And it's all the way at the end. There it is. All right. 3-1 in the last set. Very nice driving from both. And I guess that will do it for the time being. Let me see, is there anybody playing kart right now or anything similar? Aside from these two? Well, I'm not sure if they're going to keep streaming. Oh, it looks like Abney's streaming. Also Fatal Disco. We got any preferences in the chat? Very fun match indeed. You both played very well. Congrats. All right, let me set up this raid here. We'll head over to Fatal Disco. He's got some green in his splits, doing some skips runs. Funny dude, nice guy, great skips player. He was the one who discovered the Chaco Mountain setup that everybody's doing now, including Abney, of course. Yeah, I might be back on later. We'll see. See ya for now.